What's good, XRP Army? We have some quick updates going on with SEC, ETF rumors, and all that good stuff. So hit that subscribe, hit that like. XRP Cafe co-founder says VanEck filing for Solana Trust and ETF. Who's next? And of course, Brad Garlinghouse hinted at there's going to be an XRP ETF, Solana ETF, Cardano ETF. And lo and behold, we may see an XRP ETF sooner than we think. What do you guys think? I think we may see it in maybe Q4 of this year. Expectations are that there's going to be an imminent announcement and a conclusion of some sort. Hopefully they don't drag out this SEC stuff, but let's check it out. Absolute nonsense coming from Gary Gensler. And this slander about quote-unquote all crypto executives going to jail from the man who completely missed FTX and actually cozied up to SBF and wasn't even invited to the DOJ announcement about Binance. If he was really working for the American people, as he says, he would have been fired a long time ago. Gensler will cause Biden to lose the election. So here he says, this is a field where the leading lights from a couple of years ago are either in jail, about to go in jail, or awaiting extradition.
This is a field that the leading lights from a couple years ago are either in jail, about to go to jail, or waiting extradition. Think about it. This is that field. That's the field right now where the public has really been harmed. And there's significant non-compliance in the field. This is
There is significant non-compliance, but he's done a lot more damage to the average investor. If anything, if there's a positive to take from this is hey, Mr. Gensler, give us a final dip, give us a final paper hands jeet, and then we can just send this to the moon after this capitulation. Because, and I'll talk about this more later, we really need to surpass that 82-cent Judge Torres last year. Remember July 2023? It just ran up. We need to hit that. But it seems like we're reaching another capitulation moment, a moment for us to just explode. So only time will tell, guys. We're going to have to wait and see what happens in regards to that. Let's move on to another statement from Gensler on the SEC stance on crypto. The American public is not getting the public proper disclosure they are required to get by law, but they need. And he kind of has the same talking points. The sentiment towards Gensler is not positive. I think his days are coming to an end. I think he knows what he's doing. I think this often becomes the poster child. And people just are like, yeah, fire Gary Gensler. But there's more than what meets the eye. Let's have a listen.
The Supreme Court's law of the land regarding this. There's 15 to 20,000 various tokens. And they're offered in investment contracts, schemes that are investment contracts. And you look at it, the American public is not getting the proper disclosure that they are required to get by law, but they need. We're merit neutral, but you all, if you're investing, if you're listening to the public, you're not getting the disclosure that you're supposed to get. And the intermediaries in the middle of the market, those so-called exchanges or broker-dealers and so forth, if they've got hundreds of offerings on that platform, think about it. How many of those offerings don't have some group of entrepreneurs in the middle? It just sort of belies logic. The Supreme Court's law.
There's some good things he says, but it's just, the general consensus is that Gary's an L. There is, but, I like to bring up to people the example of gold. Gold pirates loved, and it doesn't mean that gold is bad because pirates love it. The issues and the mistakes and problems that occur, there's many issues, guys, with Canadian real stock market, stocks being paused, penny stocks getting rugged. Concrete stock company comes to mind that went minus 99% in minutes. If we look at BlackBerry, there's a lot of piss poor stocks and conventional things. There may be one good thing that this guy says out of 100, but yeah, time is ticking. And if anything, you know what, guys, if Gensler sent this thing to a penny, that would probably be bullish for XRP, as bizarre as that sounds. Because I think what's pissing off Ripple investors is all this sideways. We don't get price discovery, and we don't get price discovery going down. The bears and the bulls are both pissed. But moving on from Mr. Gensler, Gary Gensler, Vet says few Ripple products and customers, Ripple ODL, payment companies, Ripple custody, banks, Ripple X developers, and XRPL features. Growth in Brazil, Asia, and Europe due to clear regulation and governments embracing crypto. I really like how she put the XRPL devs on the same level as the other Ripple customers, even though those devs are, as she said, not their customers. But it's great to hear, and that's from the president of Ripple, Monica Long. Also think people should have Brazil and Asia on their radar. There is much more going on than in the US, yeah. And I mean, I think of Argentina, what Cardano is doing in Argentina. I think about Japan with DAOs and them kind of legitimizing that for governance. We clearly see that the future, guys, is moving towards like decentralization and especially to avoid the crosshairs of this man here. You know, good decentralization, good practices is going to be important. And I still have hope in XRP, even though I give it its you know, sometimes a harsh criticism, but I still have hope that they are leaning into their narrative of like the cross-border payment banking type of project. And maybe the no incentive thing may be a good thing because of the crosshairs of guys like that. So we will see what happens. I hope we get this conclusion sooner rather than later. A weekly update, which was great for XRP Cafe. That was one NFT platform I always loved. I liked it. It was bubbly. It was great. They've been making good advancements. So you can now access XRP Cafe with Google, X, Facebook, and email. You can just quickly sign in with Web2. They also integrated Coinbase Pay, making it easier than ever to fund your wallet. They have a new showing up this Friday, so they've been changing a bunch of stuff. I love their branding. The XRPL AMM reached over 20 million XRP in TVL, and over 50% of the network has updated since the release of XRPL software version 2.2.0. Really nice stuff. There's a couple of guys, including Vet, working on the development of XLS46 dynamic NFTs. We definitely need to see some improvements in the NFT space and in the volume. And so the efforts that XRP Cafe is doing, I think, is very valued and very thankful for, because it's kind of in its infancy. When we saw like XLS20 and the stuff before that, NFTs were getting kind of very popular in the bear market with XRP, and it kind of felt like a stopgap because it just was not as feature rich as some of the other networks. So I think we're making strides, guys. I think that for XRP, for Ripple, it's like enterprise banking first, and the rest will get there, but it's just priorities at the end of the day. It's just about priorities. New NFT projects continue to launch through our automated launchpad. And if you guys you like XRP and you're thinking about launching an NFT collection, think no further than XRP Cafe. Not affiliated to any of these projects, but it's a good project. Stuart Alderoty, the chief legal officer over at Ripple, he has had some zesty few tweets coming out. We're going to focus on this one here. To be clear, the CA judge dismissed all allegations suggesting that Ripple violated securities law. In short, guys, layman terms, the NY ruling that XRP is not a security will stand undisturbed. Okay, so that we've seen since July of 2023 is not a security. That remains concrete. We're basically kind of in limbo right now, just waiting. Note to Gary Gensler, the courts aren't adjusting. They're finding that you are breaking the law by exceeding your statutory, I can't even say that name, exceeding your authority. SEC's Gary Gensler on his agenda. If the courts adjust, we adjust. It's ridiculous. This is something that Brad Garlinghouse highlighted, was that they have infinite bankroll. It's very dangerous. You see, if Gary Gensler, if the SEC want to continue to charge and drag this lawsuit out, it hurts us, it hurts everyone else, but it doesn't hurt the SEC because they have infinite bankroll and they can just continue. But remember, Brad Garlinghouse was given the option to not be part of this lawsuit, but he decided to do it to fight the good fight for crypto and XRP. Another court slams the SEC, this time for unlawfully rescinding a rule on proxy advisory firms without adhering to the Administrative Procedure Act. The court explains that Gensler personally directed this illegal move. So, guys, like, we can see that they're going out real bad. I think that Gary definitely overplayed his cards, as the CLO at Ripple alluded to weeks ago. I think they're on their final straw, and we're getting there. Clearly, XRP has a special role with the government, given that they were chosen the one to really scrutinize and look through their books. And that actually may be low-key bullish, guys. Back in 2020, when this all kind of began, I wasn't phased. I held. I participated in the flare airdrops and whatnot, Songbird, and I didn't care. I could have took good profits in the last cycle, but it's impressive we nearly touched $2 in the midst of that without any clarity, like we're not a security when it was said in the third week of July. So I think moving forward, yes, it's tough, but a lot of our pain points are in the price. Even my pain points are probably price rooted. And if we see that we can break out or even just like send it low and then we break out, that would be great. It's the sideways that's given us a lot of, disgruntled employee type vibes. But what do you guys think? Is there a future for XRP? Is it a ghost chain? Do we need to see more people use it? Like, do we need goods and services? What do you guys think about the way Ripple is? I think that Ripple needs to increase their communication. They need to be more tapped into the community. And I don't know what the solutions all are. I don't have all the answers, but I think there is still a hope, a saving grace for XRP. I do think that there's a lot of more pros than cons, but there are some pain points. I don't buy the whole best incentive is no incentive. I love staking. I think that there could be a better job done, like I said, with Ripple's communication on Twitter. It feels like a dentist intern with the velocity. And I think that it's just sometimes there's just nothing going on. And the XRP investors who keep spreading nothing burger, old 10-year-old misinformation don't do justice to keep like good news coming in, flowing in. So I think a lot of my issues are rooted in price and incentives and whatnot, and Ripple having like so much of the supply. It doesn't make sense to me. Can someone in the chat explain why would the best incentive be no incentive, but then they just lined up their bags and sold a lot of XRP? If the best incentive was no incentive, all of it should have just went in and just let it be just whatever. Or at least a little bit more democratic, because I think things like supply and token supply and how it was held in the custody of those tokens and whatnot sets the precedent of what the community will expect and think of Ripple. And I think to this day, years later, they're kind of experiencing the negativity of that and this constant back and forth debating, is incentive truly, no incentive truly the best incentive? And some of the other things and grants and nepotism and all these things are not boding well. I see that there's a lot of negativity to Ripple. And so I hope that they can bounce back out of this, the SEC. They are confident that Judge Torres will be fair. I think that Ripple will do just fine. And maybe we need kind of that kaplammy moment to send XRP and everything else. Because at the end of the day, it's still top 10. People are they still have faith. And XRP Army they have strong conviction. So that's it from me, guys. I'm covering XRP, but maybe once a week. There's just not enough news, guys. There's just no news for XRP. It's just, and I'm not going to go on Twitter and be like, oh, the Jamaican bank is doing this. I can't stand that nonsense like clickbait on Twitter. So yeah, guys, that's my rant and 2 cents and my thoughts. XRP will do good, but I think it will be a late bloomer, and it will just make people FUD it to death. So what do you guys think? XRP good, XRP bad, XRP useful, XRP shitecoin? What are your thoughts? Any price predictions? Hit that subscribe, hit that like. I'll see you in the next Angry Crypto Show.